Hey everyone, Dustin from Looney Loomworks here. In my last video, I showed you how to create and weave on your own cardboard box loom. Today, I'm going to show you how to change colors on it and make it more uniquely yours. Let's get started, shall we? Alright, the first thing you're probably noticing is I am not using a cardboard box loom. No worries, this is exactly the same. This is just a small wooden frame loom. It just doesn't have the box underneath of it. Everything's treated the exact same way. So I've already got a little bit of a weaving going, and let's say I'm ready to change colors for whatever reason. Go ahead and take your original color and go across as if you were just going to do a full one, but stop about halfway through. If you notice, I didn't keep going through these warp strings. I went ahead and just came up after going underneath this one. And then just pull it tight. Treat it as if you did go all the way across. Pull it off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and beat that down a little bit. I'm using a fork to help get it a little bit tighter today. Now you take your secondary color. Go ahead and start at the very edge, just as if you were doing this with your original color. Make sure you're going through the same warp strings as you did with your original color. You're going to want to lock those in together. Pull it on in until it's right at the edge. You can even go in just a little bit further and go ahead and beat that down. Go ahead and beat the side that has the two strings and the one just a little bit more firm than you do on the side that only has the one string. That's going to help with your distribution of the tension. And then go ahead and just keep going with your second color. So just pull it through, just continue on. Give that a nice beat down. And there you go. You've got a nice color change. Go ahead and do a couple more rows. So let's go ahead and do one more row here before we trim off that excess green. So we got it pulled in, ready to go. And we're just going to go ahead and stamp that down. So now we've got the green locked in enough to where we're not going to be worried about it moving. So go ahead and pull a little bit taut. Take your scissors, be very careful, get right up next to the edge, and snip. There you go. You have just changed colors. So now that we know how to do a simple color change, let's go ahead and try something a little bit more advanced, such as a clasped weft. A clasped weft is a color change in the middle of a row. So how we do that is we're going to take our color that we're currently weaving with, in this case blue, and we're just going to go about halfway. Let's act like we're changing the color anyway. So go ahead and get that all set up. Now, go ahead and pull it through the middle and bring it off to the side. So how we're going to do this is we're going to start with the green going in on the same row. So you're going to want to do the same pattern coming in here as if it's going to match up with this one you just put in. So we're going to go ahead and go. And then when we come out the middle here, let's just get this side lined up. You can have a little extra there. I like to leave a little bit of a tail. Gives you a little bit more to work with, and you'll see why here in a minute. So we're at the middle. Normally both sides of these would be going over this middle one. Instead, we're going to take our secondary color and wrap it around just one time. Go around that blue, our first color. And then we're just going to take it and we're going to act like we're going back and weaving the next row. You do not want to put it as the same row as you just did. You want to go opposite. And then that's going to go ahead and clasp that first color and grab it. Then we take just kind of leave it a little loose in there. You don't want to tighten yet. Now we're going to take our first color, and if it done correctly, you'll see it wants to go over. Originally it went under, now it wants to go over that one. Let's do that. Because again, we go back doing the opposite of what we did coming into the middle. There we are. Get it a nice little snug. And then we'll take our beater bar or fork and go ahead and stomp it down. Give it a nice little tug. Same thing with that bottom. Now be careful when you're tugging on this one. When you add in that color, be careful, because that can pull out, and then you're going to have to redo it all again. But you don't want to pull too tightly, because you don't want to pull on that clasp here in the middle and create a widening of your warp strings here. So it's all about finding that nice balance with whatever medium you're using. All right, now let's go ahead and continue that. We're just going to put a line right down the middle of this weaving. And that's one of the beautiful things about doing the clasped weft, is that you don't have to put it in the middle. You can start your weaving like this and then do weird patterns. You can do shapes, you can do hearts, you can do so many different things. This is where your creativity with weaving can really shine. Okay, so we're back at the middle here. And then we just wrap around, come back down, and just weave the next row back. You can do the same thing on the other side. And it's just the same continuous pattern for as long as you want to do it. Then go ahead and stomp it on down. Go ahead and pull on your sides a little bit. You do want to make sure that original pull through there is nice and tight as well. You don't want a tight row, loose row, tight row, loose row. Excuse me. Nice little tongue twister there. And there we are. Now if you see it kind of start to gap here, which this one is, that's okay. That's okay. You can fiddle with it. You can try to get the beater bar to get there. You can work it with your fingers. It's all about finding the nice happy medium with your medium. And there we are. Let's do one more just to make sure we've got it. So same process. Get it nice and snug. Do the same on the secondary color. Wrap around it. And go ahead and come on back. And then we'll do the same with the blue. Make sure they're nice and snug. Stomp them on down. And there we are. Congratulations, you just learned how to do a clasped weft weaving style. And just like that, you have learned how to change colors and the clasped weft style. These are wonderful to make your weavings your own and to come up with unique patterns. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comments section below. And as always, stay loony, and I love you.